Hello? Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hello. There was some, like, some sounds that were happening. I was like, what is that?
You can hear sounds in the background, or?
No, it was, like, just, like, muffled talking.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, hi, Matt. Guess who's watching 3 streams at once?
Oh my god.
You're a pro. I couldn't do it. Too many voices.
I know we're all set up here and everything. I am trying to figure out how to make lenticular brackets work.
What is that?
This is such a stupid thing.
Uh-huh.
It is something that literally only I care about in this world.
Okay. What is it?
So lenticular brackets are they're brackets that are basically instead of the normal brackets, they're brackets that are used in like Asian like text, so like the Japanese and the Korean and stuff.
Okay.
If you look on the Twitch page right now, you can see that the number, the episode that we're on is in lenticular brackets. There is one problem with them, though.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. The one problem with them is that they're really annoying.
How do you mean?
Because right now the only way that I can type them is by basically copy and pasting them. So I just go back to the previous episode and I copy and paste them. I'm trying to figure out how to make them like native to my keyboard.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not going so well. I can type this character now, but I don't know why it's
not very useful.
It's not exactly what I'm looking for, right?
It's very useful for outlines, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working is the problem. So bizarre. You know what, maybe, maybe this is it? Oh, no, that was not it. Also, I don't know why. This is okay. This is getting like weirder. This problem's getting weirder. I might have to fix this later. The other thing that seems to be happening is that whenever I press this macro, it activates my shadow play, my like NVIDIA shadow play. which is
That's pretty bizarre.
Which is really weird. I don't know what's happening. Huh. Whatever. I'll fix this later. Let's play some Ace Attorney.
Sounds good.
There's Ace Attorney. There's Ace Attorney. Oh, I should get my water. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, alright, I'm back.
And welcome back.
It's, my house is in disarray.
What happened?
We're so, just such a mess. None of us know what's going on with any of the other ones. Just like, yeah, I'm going to my parents' place tomorrow. You going to your parents' place tomorrow? Yeah. It's like, oh, I might be gone by the time you're back. Oh yeah, I'm going on a drive. You're going on a drive? We're all over the place. It's okay. Let's play some Ace Attorney. I don't know if you watched my test stream earlier, Renu, or if you saw that it happened, but I'm a certified soup tuber now.
Soup tuber? What do you mean?
Here, let me show you a video.
Yeah, show me video.
Where is it? There you go. Best. I almost started absent-mindedly watching this, forgetting that I was streaming. Tyler's coming over? I knew Tyler was coming over. That part I knew.
The glasses. I zoom in. Who made this?
My friend Yadi.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Same person who drew my current icon.
Aww. Very cute. Soup dupes.
Soup tubes. Anyway, yeah, let's play some Ace Attorney. We're gonna keep the regular setup for Ace Attorney streams because I think it still looks nice. The Hound of the Baskervilles! The adventure of the unspeakable story.
来たぞ。
来たぞ。
ホームズの鋭い声が濃い霧の壁の向こうから聞こえてきた。私は霧のまとわりつく拳銃の撃鉄を起こして息を潜めて待った。永遠とも思える静寂。そしてその瞬間は突然訪れた。霧の中から見たこともない巨大な獣が私の目の前に躍り出たのだ。それは確かに犬だった。しかし明らかに尋常ではなかった。目はこうこうと燃え上がり、猛牛ほどもある体躯に獰猛な青白い炎をまとっている。血を這うような息遣いとうなり声、私はあまりの恐怖に震え上がった。
It's the Hound of Baskerville.
こいつこそバスカビル家に代々語り継がれる伝説の魔剣なのだ。
伝説の魔剣なのだ。
伝説の。
God, the Japanese voice acting is so much better than the English. Our first, our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious.
Woo.
However,
しかし。
there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. Bro, you defeated the like most famous prosecutor in the land.
2 times in 1 week.
Exactly. So, life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram.
Fateful telegram. Oh my goodness.
15th April, 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy.
Oh, we're official now, boy.
Oh, baby.
We have an office.
This is how he learns about racism for real? Probably. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, we really do have an office. Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san?
Yes. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today?
I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I?
Oh, no, of course not. We haven't had work since those 2 cases in a row.
Yeah, literally, he's like, we're bums now. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So, shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Yes. I love breakfast. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food.
She does, doesn't she? I miss my Tamago Kake Gohan, though.
And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fitting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today? We have to have work, right?
So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean.
Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that.
Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact.
Mrs. Sato-san, are you being sussy, Baka?
That's what the sus in her name stands for. It was just a boring old telegram.
That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing.
I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point.
At some point. Alright, I understand. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he?
Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already. Or be just a few days away. It's been months?
Yeah.
Did it take them like half a year or something to get to England?
It took like 2 months.
Oh, okay, never mind.
A fortnight ago, we
Still.
had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. I mean, she's gonna die soon? Mads, Susato can't die. She's immortal. Look at her.
You would take down death.
Hiya!
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London? That's all. Bro, did we affect history?
You mean as regards Lord Van Zieks, the Reaper?
Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance. The Reaper.
Zaripa.
What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London.
Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery.
Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means...
That the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps?
Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding.
If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself.
Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants.
No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zieks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter.
Oh?
Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems.
Really? Just like before. He wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So, it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials, then? Just my luck.
I wonder if luck doesn't come into it.
Sorry? What was that?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Okay. Whatever you say. Here's my attorney's badge.
It means a great deal to me, you know. That you cherish this armband so, and wear it each time you appear in court.
Well, it's very important to me. It's what shows that I'm a lawyer. And whenever I wear it, I feel as though it gives me strength. Through Kazuma. I absolutely can't be without it. Especially when I'm at a critical point in a trial.
But just the other day, I noticed you wearing it when we went to visit that park.
Sometimes I forget to take it off. This is just what happens when one person in a polycule fucking dies. Maybe we should have looked around the room for some trinkets.
Trinket.
15th April, Sholmes' Suite.
Morning, Renu. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. Well, oh my goodness gracious.
My man's is playing the violin, isn't he? This is Mr. Sholmes playing the violin. This is Mr. Sholmes' diegetic violin playing. Iris?
Iris, we can't hear you. What is it, Renu?
What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled.
Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you? Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems.
Oh.
Oh, him sad. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes?
Good morning.
He's so sad.
Oops.
Oh! A good morning to die, perhaps.
Jesus Christ, man. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes?
What's wrong, buddy?
You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before.
My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? The food is dead. Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble.
Oh my God.
He bored. Oh, little bow tie.
Oh, look, it's Wagahai. Oh my God. Okay, so for those of you that are less well versed in Japanese literary canon, Natsume Soseki is very famous for being a novelist and a translator of, English books into Japanese. One of his most famous books is I Am a Cat, but in Japanese it's Wagahai wa Neko, which, if you know anything about the way Japanese self-referential pronouns work, you have stuff like watashi, and then you have stuff like, atashi and ore, which are more gendered ones. Wagahai is this really old form. It is meant to be very pompous and noble and self-righteous. So the people that use Wagahai tend to be really arrogant or like self-confident or straight up like old-timey villains. For instance, in Full Metal Alchemist, Alex Louis Armstrong uses Wagahai because he's a very over-the-top, pompous man.
Yes.
And so the idea is that cats are these like creatures that are like pompous and self-righteous. There's your little
He's
Japanese
noble.
literary history, but look at him, he's Wagahai.
He's noble. Look at him with him bow tie.
So it's a cute little nod to the Japanese, the actual Japanese history of Natsume Soseki.
Good morning, boy. You don't call him boy. You call him my lord.
That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there?
Kawaii. Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die.
What's wrong, buddy? Oh, I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened?
It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melissonant tones would make flowers bloom.
It would?
But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Haley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time.
Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it.
Oh, dear.
Ah! Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left?
Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for?
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Miss Usato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windibanks now.
Sorry, it's at a windy bank?
No, Windibanks, the pawnbrokery. What?
You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours?
It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Just after we don't have what any to spare. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you.
It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all.
It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works.
Oh. What's to understand exactly? What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works?
To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks?
Bro, London's so fucked up.
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in turn, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious! So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windibanks, you see. Pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault.
Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? That's fucked up. What the hell is going on in this country?
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? No commento. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now.
Jesus. Well, alright then, Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new homeland.
Oh, yes. And I've become very attached to little Wagi. it would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses.
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Wagi back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
Look at her with the cat.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed.
Someone passed away! Someone very close to us!
A pet killed my best friend!
Well, I don't mind, because Wagi is adorable.
Yes, he really is. Oh, yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runo. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
Oh my god, what is that? What is that?
Is it a square hole cutter?
I call it the cat flapper mat.
Oh my.
Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Wagi in seconds.
We need that.
I'm sure you do.
And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. From your experience, cats getting through doors is a relative non-issue? Yeah. The thing is that, like, we don't need cat doors because if Philip wants into a door, he'll just open it. He'll just reach up and he'll open the sucker. Sometimes, I close the door to my bedroom and then in the, like, I just hear at, like, 4 a.m. just...
Oh my goodness.
And then he just walks in the opened door and he's like, hey,
Hi.
can I have some food?
Parental units. Oh.
Oh, what was that?
Wagahai? Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Jesus.
Now that's more like having a cat.
What was that?
Oh no! Oh, guys, tangled up in your violin. I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! Oh, what's he doing to it? No!
Oh no, not a violin.
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care?
What?
I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now.
Oh my god. Sir, you need some assistance.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. So this is the violin, is it?
It's a Stradivarius. What?
Oh dear. Uh-oh. Oh no.
For those of you who are unaware about violins, these guys, a Stradivarius nowadays could go for millions of dollars.
Oh dear.
One of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari.
Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. Uncultured swine!
I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. Good lord!
How honorable of you.
And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? There is none. It's alright. To tolerate this blanched existence. No!
No!
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
What do you mean, Mrs. Sato?
Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
I was gonna say, did he take crap care of the violin?
It might have come like that, honestly. Wait,
Alright.
it's not even the right size, is it?
What's this? How do you not notice? You
This
said
isn't
it
a
was your
violin.
companion!
This is a
my
viola.
Oh no. Two set. Having a conniption.
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, please tell me it's a viola. Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument.
I'm so good at this.
What? How do you not notice?
Mr. Sholmes! You're right. You are quite right.
This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. How do you not notice? So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam?
Not your faithful performing partner, then.
Ah, I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Alright. What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this violin... this viola, I mean.
Sorry, are you... Hey, Mr. Sholmes, are you using your like, one-of-a-kind violin as pawnbroker collateral?
Oh my god.
was at Windibank's until last week.
Oh my god.
At the pawnbrokers.
Not
Mr. Sholmes's beloved. Oh, sorry. I thought that was
Not
our-
Mr. Sholmes's beloved musical partner.
There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Oh my god.
Yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea! I'm sure
Stop
it learned
saying
so
that,
much.
Susato.
Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. How did neither of you notice?
Bro.
But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of but it was!
Yeah, no, a fiddle is different. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings.
Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. Oh dear.
Okay.
But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. We mustn't dilly-dally. Oh, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere.
Sorry, I keep double clicking. Sorry?
Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
He's back, baby!
Ah.
We must visit Mr. Windibank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Miss Susato. Without a moment's delay.
But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs!
My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg ever more obtusely.
God. Alright, say no more. Let's go then.
Don't worry, Renu. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like. Okay. I guess we'll go, Baker Street. "15th April, Windibank's Pawnbrokery." So this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions here that I've never laid eyes on before.
Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this?
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes!
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure.
And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back.
Did you hear that brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers after all.
We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Winterbank of our ire. Come. The fight is afoot. Oh,
This looks like a guy.
yeah. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes.
This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Winterbank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends.
I thought he was booking it out of here.
I shall have to take my own life. Oh, Jesus.
I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
Jesus Christ, man. If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Oh my god. Yes?
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry.
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, here it is.
You did? You freaking idiot.
And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir.
You freaking idiot.
However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No! Stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
Whew.
It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winterbank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir.
It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of the more, challenging customers. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes, or some such.
Oh my! A new, full-fledged novel! And unpublished. A story I have yet to read, you mean?
Forgive me!
Wait! Before you die, you must tell me more!
Oh my god, Mr. Sato.
She has priorities.
Cold as ice. There's an accident on the Richmond Bridge, all lanes blocked. Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh. I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winterbank.
For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more.
It houses something of great value indeed. The latest manuscript recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here.
And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this?
I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir. Of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life! This is all very strange. I wonder, could I ask you something? A gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I praise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure storage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me, plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
A guinea was worth £1 and 1 shilling. Interesting. How does pre-decimal British currency work anyway? That's a good question. Originally worth £1 sterling, equal to 20 shillings, but rises in the price of gold relative to silver caused the value of the guinea to increase at times to as high as 30 shillings. How much is a shilling? Anyway, guineas are valuable because they were apparently the first minted gold coin, so they were made of gold. When the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. Oops.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am. That's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
Oh my goodness. The very idea, Mr. Winterbank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually.
Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning.
I would never! And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such tragedy never occurs.
Oh? What sort of measures?
I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank?
What was that deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder?
Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
Ah yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive, it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness.
Really? That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate.
Wow, wouldn't
Not
that
my
be
problem.
unfortunate? I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank? Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
How dare you! It's the cost of the film, sir.
Oh,
You most graciously placed not one but 2 cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. Didn't think about that one, did we?
nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no?
Bro, this is expensive as shit.
My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you tried to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer.
Oh my god.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not!
Please take it away from him.
Sorry? I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's not
That's
really
not the
what I
problem.
meant. The fact that there's a single bullet at all is the problem.
Yeah. Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbank.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Yeah, time to look at everything. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh.
Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there.
Mr. Winterbank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts.
He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
This revolver here.
Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article therein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size. Belying his portly size, excuse me.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Blow his brains out, indeed, in recompense for his blunder.
Jesus Christ!
Good
What is
freaking
happening?
Lord.
What is
What
happening
is
in this
happening?
case?
Oh, my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it?
Sincerely, what is going on today? There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there.
That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Winterbank keeps articles that are currently in pawn.
Ah, I see.
There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity.
Recommend it or not, it's not something I tend to do.
There is but one key, and Mr. Winterbank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow.
Why do you know this? How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes?
I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not.
Jesus Christ.
I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder.
And the prime suspect if this pawnbrokery is ever burgled.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Look at this. What could this lovely big shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country?
Oh my. Yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of the angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life.
This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness! What a simply delightful machine!
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker.
What does that really mean, though?
When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing.
Oh, yes. Now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything.
Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow.
I like how they're all just like, so you're gonna like sell the clothes off your back, right?
That's what you came here for, right?
So this is what you came here to do? My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. What else we got here? It's a horse.
Oh. It does cost us interest. We would have to earn money.
True.
Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have two little windows for looking through.
Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you'll need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
All right then. I'm going to try it. Mr. Naruto, you must see at once.
Some pretty dramatic music.
The violins are kicking in.
Oh. Alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed? Like I'm trying to look at my own nose? I guess. What the? a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it.
Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's... I didn't see what it was. Many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
Oh my god. Jiminy.
It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well... far too complicated to explain at present. We
He's
shall
like,
save this lesson for another day.
I don't fucking know. Black magic.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Very enlightening, Mr. Sholmes. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April. Today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date.
The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windibank.
And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
oh yes. I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here. Look.
We're gonna open it, aren't we?
Oh my. That's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before.
What are you two doing?
What? Us? Nothing! No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair and you know it. Article barely with a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Or whatever. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Ah, it's this little one. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh yes. It's the young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago.
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. It's commonly called a pickpocket. I see.
Gordon Bennett, you lot! Hello,
Bro,
Miss
she
Lestrade.
loaded.
I hope you've been well as you reload your gun. You remember me then, do you?
Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel, coat, have ya?
What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? I'm not gonna sell it.
It's all you have other than the armband, and you're not gonna sell that. Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Mr. Sholmes!
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need.
Oops, sorry. That wasn't even the regular accident. I literally just like dropped something on my mouse.
I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence.
He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hands? Some kind of metal disc?
And you. Go on. Leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade. Just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
Santa-san can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
Somehow I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Sorry about all the shuffling. I had to unplug and replug my phone charger because it wasn't charging. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I am alright. I'm a Londoner just like everyone else. That a problem, is it?
No, not at all. It's just that, well,
Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I could see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
well, I might have been thinking something along those lines.
You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo?
All right, then. I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people?
Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade?
What is this comedy of errors?
But not this time, alright? I swear. That thing belongs to me.
The disc that Mr. Winterbank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. What the? Pork.
Yeah.
Mr. Winterbank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface.
This is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. In a music box?
What? You don't even know what a music box is? Tisk, you Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh?
I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going. Beautiful music plays.
It's so incredible. Tell tell us what tune is on this disc?
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. So many different types of music boxes, you see. British-made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Oh, I see. And that's in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was... well...
He? Who?
Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money. I know it is.
Well then, you have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? She's been in before, of course. Tatterdemalion. What the fuck? I see. And brought some dubious articles or other with her every single time, I might add.
Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me.
So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? If only it were that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
Ah, a storage ticket. So...
The English really do just fucking make up absurd sounding words. They really do.
Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing.
Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank.
The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh.
What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, how about the disc then? How does that come into all this? Hey, Brandon.
Hello. The disc is something else. A new article to pawn. If the girl and I can agree a price. I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Hello, and good night. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it.
I gotta be clever.
Okay, alright, we'll take a little BRB then. Borb.
Inside. Inside. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Hello, Renu, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay, let's get back to Ace Journey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, yes, and rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean...
What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it?
If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am.
And she immediately tried to pawn it.
For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think.
Give it all. I'm just trying to pawn something, like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me.
It doesn't really appear to be your size.
Me, old man! It's me, old man's! Ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade?
Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please. Oh! Look at...
Whoa!
Who's this picture postcard English gentleman?
Whoa!
Holy shit.
Whoa!
Hold on, let me think. Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen.
What's your problem, eh?
There is no problem as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor.
This guy sucks.
And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve.
Whoa.
Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line.
Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket.
Who are you? How'd you know who I am?
The most Victorian orphan-looking ass motherfucker you've ever seen in your life. Like, how did you know I'm an orphan pickpocket? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems.
Uh-oh.
What? You mean from you?
Broker. Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pickpocket thief has just redeemed an article from you now. Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull?
I am having sincere doubts that this coat belongs to this man. Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say,
Whoa!
any music box discs too. Jesus, he's fucking JoJo posing.
You can't have it. You just can't.
It's like a Victorian Yoshikage Kira. Kira Queen bites a dust.
It's me old man's. Or it was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation.
Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. I would just leave this situation alone.
Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying? What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life, I ain't ever laid eyes on that dandy before.
Why the fuck are we getting involved? That's a very good question. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? Ticket you brought in here just now.
No, I swear it. I swear to God.
She's swearing to God. She's swearing to God. That makes it real. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I found it. I found the perfect voice. He has to go weird. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh, yes. As you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. How often does he get robbed? Obviously, all the time. Have you seen this man? This man is asking to be robbed.
Whoa.
Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police.
Oh, Don, why does everyone think it's me?
I didn't do shit.
Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one?
I mean, he kind of has a point. He looks sussy. He looks sussy as fuck.
It's pretty sussy.
Pretty sussy. I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you.
Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it.
Oh, I have evidence, naturally.
You what?
Let's see that evidence, bro. Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman.
Of course. We need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'd be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Oh,
I never ask customers' names. It's a strict policy of mine. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity.
yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question?
Whoa.
Of course, it's... Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. Watchword? Huh, interesting. Is that anything like a safe word?
Hmm.
So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why certain customers... dot 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 would like to keep their activity secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Ooh! I can see the future!
Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes, as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on the 15th of February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir.
Oh,
Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the Enquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Oh. Oh. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? I think you're thinking of India, my guy. Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first, before inquiring after the name of another. Oh, of course, yes, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really.
my name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert Benedict. What? 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 Why? Enchante. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. I'm glad we're addressing this. Now to the matter at hand.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off.
Wow.
Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him.
This man is the progenitor of K-pop, you're right. Wow, he looks so incorrect in this coat. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. He's voguing. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back.
This is why I hate grown-ups. Just 'cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Just this one? pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another disc. Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you?
Says who, Way? I don't know nothing about it.
Mads is threatening with the chug.
Oh dear.
Very well.
My guy.
Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Dear.
Wait a minute. That disc is mine.
Oh, bro. Ah,
Throwing him.
What do you think you're doing, you little tramp?
Oh!
You've drawn blood, you filthy animal!
Oh my! Yes, there's blood on the disc.
It's because of all those sharp little bumps. That man must have scratched his finger on them. Isn't he wearing gloves?
Mm-hmm. I found it first, all right. I mean, it belonged to me, old man.
I don't think either of them own this fucking disc.
It belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you. You take it.
Me? Wait, I don't want to. Ah, no!
She's got major hands. If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it.
What? Mr. Strahd, why is this disc so important to her? Oh God, it's in the in-court record. How did you do that? You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please.
No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
Oh, what do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Oh, good Jiminy Jesus. Mr. Windibank is clearly at a loss here. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that revolver of his.
Oh my freaking god.
Okay, let's just look at it. Let's look at it. Look at all the little bumps on the disc. They're so tiny.
Yes, the protrusions are called pins, and they pluck the teeth of the comb to make notes. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood.
Yes, the blood of the mysterious Mr. Eggert Benedict.
When Miss Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pins scratched his fingers, it seems.
Again, wasn't he wearing gloves?
Right.
Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Ouch, just thinking about it hurts. And puts me off eating radish. What is this?
Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, too. Of the disc, look. A scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name.
Yeah, for McGilded.
Mm-hmm.
For McGilded.
McGilded? It couldn't be. The racist Irish dude who got murdered.
But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live.
But why? Why is his name on this? Look at Mr. Windibank, watching diligently over his shop. Still so many things I'm curious about. Somehow I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing.
Calming this fraught situation must be our first priority.
I fairly certain that we can find just the great thing we need among the articles here in this shop. Is that so?
My man.
Mr. Sholmes? What are you examining with such keen interest there?
You just came for the violin.
As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see.
Ah. So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry?
After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. What is happening here? Are you upset that you got driven off?
Okay, Mr. Sholmes.
He's really up and down today.
Yeah, real roller coaster day for him.
Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So, feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely. So desperately lonely.
Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know?
Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving
Jesus Christ, man.
My ears devoured every word that was uttered.
This man is not okay. You really were sad, weren't you? Mr. Sholmes is having an existential crisis. He's like, what is the value of a man?
Poor Mr. Sholmes. I feel simply awful for you.
It would seem that my inferences are correct.
Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again.
My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized, how much I could pawn it for.
It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Fuck, let's listen to his deduction.
Let's listen to it, yeah,
I
why
want to
not?
hear it.
Yeah.
Give it to me, my guy.
Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Again.
Tisk, where the blue blazes have you been, eh?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true jet's supposed to be there to help straight away, not an hour later.
Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you?
Mr. Eggert Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yep.
Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn.
I beg your pardon.
The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate, with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions?
How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg.
It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir?
Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin?
Oh, baby!
The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Mystery Man.
First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer.
Definitely not.
Oh dear. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction.
What utter rot! I've had this cane for years!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule.
Hey, Mr. Sholmes, what the fuck?
What is... I guess it's the end of the cane.
No, I know what it is, but literally we just zoomed in on, like, the initials not being, EB. And then we just... whoop.
Ferrule. It's the tip thingy. Okay. Thank you. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare.
God, he looks so fucking dorky. He's just like, yes!
Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you...
bear.
You bear. Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? Mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. Is the broken handle of a shovel.
What? Are you insane?
And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime.
Jesus Christ. The tunnel underneath the pawnbrokery.
We're still going with it.
Guess so.
Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning.
This is utterly absurd.
Sure is.
You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? This guy, he's schmoovin'.
Wow.
Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say?
Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped.
What?
Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works. Beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road.
This madness has entered the sewers now, has it?
By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. That flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite.
What are you? I like he's like, you were going to rob a bank from the sewers!
In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels.
Master plan?
Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank?
Are you quite serious?
Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, This picture postcard tells us all we need to know.
A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me.
Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road.
Pardon?
Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank. The special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, this is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please.
Jesus Christ, man. To steal the Great Exhibition's reserve funds.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle.
Mr. Sholmes?
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness. Would you not agree?
Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault?
Indeed. Though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets.
Oh yes, that is good. Thanks for telling us, man.
I'm going to tell the whole world! Gregson told me in the strictest confidence.
But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact.
Ah!
And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it?
There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal.
But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret.
Oh,
Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windibank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. On my life, I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous.
Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out.
Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes.
Not my problem. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure.
Okay, alright, yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape.
Very well then, and let us start once more from the beginning. Even he's just like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, buddy. You're the best. Okay, let's take a small little breaky so I can grab a snack.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Oh
Got
well.
myself some chocolates. I was really craving some chocolates once I saw Mr. Sholmes' caramel bar.
Ah, that's cute.
Okay, ready?
Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular.
Bonk, bonk. So by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor.
Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say that his motives lie elsewhere. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time?
Oh!
What is this?
Cute little drawing!
Oh! Look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
I love this sequence because you're just allowed to like walk around and look at everything.
I know,
and
like
nobody
scrutinize
stops
what
you.
he's holding in his hands.
Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade, height 5'2", green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, in quotation mark, in parentheses, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness.
There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. It's cute.
It's super cute.
Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windibank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street. Redemption deadline 15th April.
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? I shouldn't have put a truck in my mouth right before I did that.
Yeah, what brought you just shot him? Yunosuke avidly chomping on his own chocolate bar.
Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade.
Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer.
How can you even see that from here?
You can't. Pertain to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery here.
Ah! You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you.
But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie.
It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Windibank's Pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat.
So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person! Blah 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 blah.
God, you're so dumb.
Fair rule!
What's a fair rule?
It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Shums is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
But it doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Shums identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Look here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle.
Ah, yes. Those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
So, Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh.
Oh. AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? Think emoji.
Great!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing.
A most astute observation. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Eggert Benedict?
God, what are you even here for?
We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed. Would you not agree?
No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you'd had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park.
In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name.
Huh? Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him.
But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description. Which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue.
So, what we need to do here is somehow prove the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Okay. Given by that sound, yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like it just fucking ripped here. He's too big for this coat!
Oh! The seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look.
So it is.
Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl.
I like how Susato's completely willing to believe that this is a noise that a human would make.
He growled, that's all.
Yeah, isn't that wild? He did a growl.
But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open, yes.
Boy, what astute observation. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting. You wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If we were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart.
That I'd like to see.
Miss Susato? Sorry?
So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around?
Oh my god. She's like, I'd like to see a man's coat entirely disassemble while he's wearing it. And then he's like, what? And she's like, how do you think we could make that happen? She's really giving this some thought. The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see.
Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit.
Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart.
My suspicions were aroused from the outset. Yes, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket.
Nah.
This catalog of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Winterbank.
Ah.
But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed.
To abscond, the redeemed item. Solved. Ka-chunk. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of ponage? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner, using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? N'est-ce pas?
Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped.
What?
Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter.
Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think.
Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword.
Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Winterbank would never allow you to redeem the article.
Or, looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Winterbank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Well, it's a good question. Oh, look at this, Mrs. Sato.
Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Winterbank has scribbled to himself.
Let's see. What does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Winterbank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him, right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well.
Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see?
Bro, you might want to look into some cryptography, maybe. Like, is that literally it?
I mean,
This looks to be quite an old lamp.
But it's obviously been well looked after, and there's oil in it too.
In other words, it's still in use.
Yes, it would appear so. But as for how it could be related to Mr. Benedict knowing the watchword for the pond article, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes two of us. It's 'cause I mean, like, I guess it's this.
it's probably that.
Yeah. He just fucking read it on the file. He's so bad at this. The method is revealed by the note lid on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn.
Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question.
I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about?
It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade.
In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Winterbank.
When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice,
You observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. Oh my god. My guy.
and that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pond article from the young Miss Lestrade.
Master plan?
Which brings us to, at last, to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker?
Are you quite serious?
For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know.
The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets.
Which, according to Mr. Winterbank, isn't even worth a penny.
And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps... We already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, could we? Really? I better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. All the evidence we've collected so far.
All that evidence, eh?
All the evidence we've collected so far. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back?
It reads, for McGilded.
It's just her election. Ah.
Mr. Magnus McGilded. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate?
Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Ah! Curse my well-toned muscles! My perfectly sculpted body! How could it betray me in my time of need?
Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today
Was to retrieve
an article left behind by the late
McGilded.
Magnus McGilded.
Oh, I hope that turned out okay on the stream. Ah! Talking in unison is so impossible.
We managed it in Discord. I don't know about on the stream. It's pretty good, actually. Yo!
Perfect.
Bit desync, but not too far off. Alright. I'll take it. Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is the 15th of April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been 15th February, sir, that's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th February. It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. I read your line, sorry.
That's okay.
At 10:30 in the evening. It's precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
Oh ho ho ho! I see.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence.
You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However...
Oh my god!
I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. Oh my god! It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box.
Oh man!
What do I do?
Oh man!
Bro, we have a sword. Come on, sword beats gun. Everybody knows this. There's some things a man must protect at all costs.
Yo, we haven't saved.
This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Whoa, Mr. Winterbank! This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Mr. Winterbank, no!
What is the situation?
Inspector Gregson!
No.
Inspector?
He completely missed the mark on what he was supposed to do. With that gun, that would have been way less perilous and more useful.
Phew!
That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh?
Oh, praise be, you're here at last.
Freaking God, Mr. Winterbank.
I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. Jesus Christ, man.
Get the gun away from him, man.
It would seem you have the upper hand.
Bro, this is crazy.
Bro.
Oh, hey, there it is. I was like, where are the fish's chips?
He's got his chippies.
Right. You lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being involved with some petty argy-bargy.
Bro, we know just as much as you do.
Petty? Mr. Winterbank very nearly met with his end.
Oh no.
Did you see what almost happened to Mr. Winterbank? Holy shit.
Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. My man does not care.
Oh dear.
And the whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on.
What? What on earth is the case, Inspector?
Spare no detail, Gregson. You already told everyone, sir. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir.
Yes.
Oh, I guessed it right.
You did, you got it.
Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station.
But of course, Inspector.
Oh!
He's getting away!
He twirled out of the police's grasp. Get after him, lads! Whistle the beat officer too!
Sir!
Well, Scotland Yard.
Holy shit! He's fucking schmoovin'!
There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we fit emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah, it's almost like a bank.
Almost like a bank. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed.
Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning.
Oh, yes? that me?
Is that me? I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yes, of course.
No, don't! Don't give it to him! It's mine, that is! Mine!
She's been quiet this whole time.
But he's a cop.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
As evidence?
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Ah.
And so, we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson. And were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street.
Okay, well.
To be continued.
That was a little strange encounter.
That was wild. What? Oh my god. I don't know. All right. I mean, probably we should end it there just because I have to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's a natural stopping point, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was that went from 0 to 100 so fast.
Yeah, we were like at a really like steady clip at a very low stakes or whatever, and then all of a sudden, pchoom!
All of a sudden, literally everything started happening all at once. Holy shit, that was bonkers. Like just when you think, oh, you know, we're gonna take it easy for a little bit. Oh, nope. Nope, we're not doing that. We are decidedly not doing that. Jesus fucking Christ.
There's no murder yet. It's weird. Yeah, I guess we're just we'll be addressing McGilded's murder or his death.
Yeah, I guess so. I have to imagine. Yeah, I have to imagine. Like, okay, this is the thing, right? Is that like this last case is the last case of this game. There's obviously a sequel game. But I don't know if they knew that they were making a sequel game when they were making this game. But there's so many loose ends that I have to assume that this is going to attempt to wrap up all of them.
That would be crazy.
So we'll see about that. But it looks like we might get some answers about Mr. McGildy, so
yeah, I want answers about Mr. McGildy and also answers about the Reaper.
That's true. It feels like we just started this game because
I know.
every kind of chapter has felt like a tutorial chapter.
They've introduced so many things, and yet somehow the game is almost over.
It's such a weird progression. It feels like the game has just started, and then like you're on the last case. It's bizarre. Right. Anyway, I'm sure there'll be a murder. I'm sure there will be a murder. Last time there wasn't a murder, but I think this time there will be a murder. All right. See you.
All right. See you guys next time. Bye.